Okay, what else do you need to know about A Nightmare on Elm Street? For me, this is just, okay, from my personal perspective, it is the most frightening of all horror movies, and it will be the most frightening of all horror movies simply because of the concept. There is nothing and no one more frightening than Freddy Krueger, simply based on the fact that, like, he isolates you. There's nothing more terrifying than that. It's like, there are these kids, and they are kids because they're teenagers, and they are being stalked and taunted by the sins of their parents, which aren't really sins. I mean, it's Freddy's fault. He got everything that he deserved. But the reason, if you don't know the backstory, the reason that Freddy is stalking, first of all, it's called Nightmare on Elm Street. That's very specific, okay? And until Nightmare on Elm Street 4, it remains on Elm Street. He's stalking Elm Street kids. And the reason for that is because he is a child killer. He's a potential child molester, child killer. And he was killing a bunch of children in the neighborhood on that street. All the parents on that street, they got together. They found the live version of him. This was when he was alive. They found him and they set him on fire. They burned him alive. This is why throughout the series, if you ever show Freddy fire, like they do this in Freddy vs. Jason, where Jason, like, he puts Jason in water and Jason lights something on fire, and it scares the shit out of Freddy. He's terrified because he has all these burns because he was set on fire by the parents because he kept murdering their children. Okay, so he made some sort of, and I think it might be in number 5 or something where they explain this, maybe 5 or 6, but like he made some sort of deal with a demon, and he came back to murder the children of the parents who killed him. So all those children are children who live on Elm Street. So that's why it's called A Nightmare on Elm Street. Because he's murdering kids, the kids of the parents on Elm Street. He's not able to get to other kids until Alice comes along in Dream Master, and Dream Master is one of my favorites because of this. It's so interesting. But Dream Master, this character named Alice, is able to call, Kristen is able to call people into her dreams, but Alice is able to, she's able to absorb people's powers, and she inadvertently is introducing him to new children that are not, because he can only reach the children that are on Elm Street. So Alice, when he goes through Alice, he's able to get kids from all over the place, because she's like kind of like the Dream Master. It's not until near the end where she starts to be able to use those powers for herself. But like, that's why it's called Nightmare on Elm Street. And Wes Craven chose Elm because there's an Elm Street in every fucking town in the USA. There's an Elm Street everywhere. And there's a Springfield in almost every town in the USA as well, which is the city that this takes place in. He wanted us to feel like this could happen anywhere. And at any time, you will always have to go to sleep. You'll never be able to avoid him forever, right? Which is what makes it so terrifying. Everybody has to sleep sometime, right?